All right, guys. Happy Saturday to everybody. Welcome to our Saturday training call. As you know, guys, we do this every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please make sure you put a notification somewhere where you can remember each and every Saturday. It's the same Zoom link, it's the same code. Make sure you're on and your team is on so that you can get the training that you need. We only do this for an hour once a week so that you guys have a weekly dose of what you need to do to have success each and every week leading up to your goals so that you can accomplish what you want out of Family First Life. And we have so many people winning here, from people who have never sold insurance before. They don't know what it is they're doing, but they're plugged into the system, they're plugged into the trainings, they're plugged into all the resources that we have. And that's why people are winning. And you can too. You just have to follow the system, and Saturday training is part of it. And guys, we don't have to do this, but we want to do this because it's the best and quickest way for us to get one simple message that's been helping so many people out to you guys all at the same time, right? So don't take this lightly. Make sure you take notes, whether on a device or a notepad, however you do it, guys. And the best way that we can show our gratitude and our thanks to our speakers on today is not only just writing that information down, guys, and looking at it, but apply it to your business so you too can have success and change your family's lives. All right. Because when you win, we win, and we want everybody to win. So, with that being said, guys, I am going to start with a few announcements today. The first thing I want to talk about is how important live sales dials is. All right. And plugging in. I just talked about the recipe to success. Saturday training is one of them. Guys, live dials is a big part of it. The two biggest and most important things about this business is getting on the phones and booking appointments, and then actually getting in front of the clients. And guys, you can never get in front of the client or get someone on the phone or have them stay on the phone long enough if you're not learning how to set and book your appointments, or if you decide to do telesales, same thing, right? You have to start somewhere, guys. And you know, I live by this, right? So before you can be great, you got to be good. Before you're good, you got to be bad. And before you're bad, you have to at least try, right? So we need more people getting on, trying and learning, right? Because that's the only way you're going to get really, really good. And I say this now, give yourself 60 to 90 days to understand what you're really a part of. For the first 60, 90 days, you're not going to know what you're doing, right? And guess what? You can't judge yourself until after your 100th appointment. So you can't say you don't know how to sell. You can't say this business doesn't work until after you've seen 100 families. And guys, write this down. I'm telling you right now, it starts on live sales dials, and all the leaders, whether new or old, they're crushing it right now because they're plugged into live sales dials. So make sure you're plugged in. We'll be right on there after here. It's every day from 7:30. Sometimes we go all the way to 9 o'clock. Everybody has a different schedule, but we always have someone on to help you out. The next thing that I want to talk about, team, is work spots and how important work spots is. If you have not gotten work spots, I highly recommend, guys, it's not even an option. Like, you want to make sure that you get work spots. If you want to save money, all right, on leads, if you want to be able to purchase more leads at a lower cost, you only get the discounts by being a part of work spots, which is $99 a month. There's other benefits that come along with it. It allow, you know, with this with signing up with WorkSpot, it allows you to an entry into an office that's close and near to you, so you have a space to work out of, you have a desk to work at, you have an environment to plug into. There's top producers and, you know, weekly trainings going on that you can plug into, guys. I look at it like this, right? Being a part of WorkSpots, live sales dials, and everything that we're talking about today is like charging your phone. Nobody goes without charging their phone. So why would you not charge yourself and your business on what you need to do? And when you're not plugged in, you're not charged. You don't know what's going on. So part of being plugged in is also WorkSpots, right? You have free Wi-Fi, discounts, everything. So make sure you're plugged in. Become a member today so you can get those discounts and you can save a ton of money annually on, you know, the leads that are already affordable to us today. All right. The next thing that I want to talk about, guys, is our weekly schedule. There's no excuse why, you know, you guys cannot win here. We understand that everybody has a different situation. We have single moms, married couples, people with no kids. I mean, we have, and some people are working one job, two jobs, and you have a hefty plate, and we completely understand that. All right, guys. And most people, they don't do this, but Fury and High Voltage and National, we are accommodating you by having something going on each and every day, so that there's no reason why you can't plug into what we have going on to have success. We always have something going on. We always have a podcast running. It's up to you to get the information that you need so that you can have success. So make sure, guys, you screenshot this. We have something going on each and every day, and the most important thing when getting started with FFL is having a schedule. So find out what your schedule is. If you don't know what it is, get with the leader, get with, the person that brought you in to help you, set that up so you have something that you can follow each and every day to have success. The next thing I want to talk about, guys, is also the switch to Telegram, right? We are still in Slack. Okay, guys, we are still in Slack. So do not delete the app, but we moved our personal group for Fury and High Voltage to Telegram. All right, just to be able to do more things in our group chat and to engage more with you guys, right? So if you haven't made the switch over, just go to the old chat, which was FFL Fury Agency on Slack. The link is actually in there. Click the link; it'll take you right into our personal group chat for Telegram. And you want to make sure you're in there. That's also part of being plugged in, because you really get to see so many different people from so many different backgrounds, from so many different situations, closing business and helping families, and it's very motivating. You got to know what you're a part of. You have to know the amount of families that we're helping, the amount of money that is being made. It's guys, it's contagious. And you can only catch what the wave that we're on when you're plugged into what we have going on here. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is the biggest event of them all is the Maryland Sales Conference. You want to make sure you are there. If you did not go to convention, if you weren't here and you're in the area, or you can get on a flight and get to Maryland, I encourage you. We've been growing since the first time they started doing this. It's helped so many people. The meeting, you really get a chance to see FFL from different point of views and perspectives. But the one thing that I can say that all the leaders and all the speakers there that have in common with their different situations is that they're all winning because they decided to make a decision and they didn't make excuses. And you're going to get to hear everything that they're doing to have success, and you can do it too, right? You guys think that we're doing something here, there's another level, and you're going to get to see that on stage, right? But get your people there too, right? One of the fastest ways to build a business is to rally a bunch of people to an event to see exactly what you see, because it's a numbers business. The more people you expose to this event to see what you see, the more people you have coming out of your organization making a six-figure income and changing their families' lives and also yours. It's gonna Now we had a slight location change, guys. It's gonna be May 14th, so it's more than enough time to make sure you get there. This is a free event to change your entire life. If you knew where we came from, guys, we paid from everything: tickets to CDs to events. I mean, we actually spent more money on events than we did making money in our previous IMO. So the fact that Family First Life, with our meetings and our trainings, everything is completely free. You just have to get there. Guys, take advantage of it now. All right. Because the people that you see that are getting promoted, that are winning, guys, even for myself, I only had this conviction with the way that I'm talking about this event because I was there. And it's nothing we can bring back and tell you. You just have to be there. All right. And what I can also tell you, and I'll leave you with this: I've never seen anyone become successful in Family First Life, whether spare time, part time, or full time, and not going to a big event. Big decisions are made at big events. If you want a big future, you must be there. Okay. It is imperative. All right. And so I leave you with that. That is all for my announcements today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up our next speaker. Guys, you know how much I love this woman. She is my right, my left. I'm so glad. I wish she would have dragged me over here sooner. But, timing is everything, and life happens when it's supposed to. She is our very own EVP. She's also going to be the first African American woman to have an integrity partnership, and I'll be right behind her. And I'm just so blessed to say that I was able to be one of the biggest parts that journey, because she's going to pull me up and I'm going to pull you guys up with me. So, with that being said, guys, silent claps for Kali Somerville.
Hey, thank you, Corinne. Good morning. I'm not going to take too long. I really quickly, I wanted to go over the top 10 issue paid for the month of March. And guys, just a reminder, this is a cameras on meeting. We've been saying that we're going to. Okay.
Real bad.
Hold on, y'all. Somebody's definitely not unmuted. This is a cameras on meeting. Hold on, let me see who this is.
You want to make me the host so I can mute?
Hold on. Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Hold on, y'all. Apologize.
That's all it is. They selling an image.
Hello, whoever Galaxy A42 is. So
It's me, Ramona Brantley.
oh my gosh. Hold on, y'all. All right, and I'm about to make you the host, Corinne. Well, I don't see you anymore. All right, you're the host now. Okay, guys. So again, this is a cameras on meeting. That's why I sent out the request to turn on your cameras, because we want to make sure that you're engaged, guys. We only ask that you do this. We ask that you get on here once a week so that you can learn. But let me really quickly go through the top 10 issue paid for the month of March, and this is personal production, guys. This is not team production. This is personal. So this is the top 10 in the FFL Fury hierarchy. Number 10 is Davon C. He helps 15 families for the month. Kayla A, number 9, she helped 15 families for the month. Jordan N, number 8, he helped 15 families for the month. Steve J, number 7, he helped 17 families for the month. Kali Somerville, number 6, she helped 17 families for the month. Josh K, first time gold producer. He's number 5. He helped 21 families for the month. Rakita G, number 4. She helped 30 families for the month. Jamar S. Jamar, guys, is 22 or 23 years old. Jamar helped 32 families for the month. That's a lot of money that went in his bank account. Eugene M. Here go this Galaxy again. Corinne.
I muted.
Okay. Eugene M, 35 families for the month. And then Andre B. What is happening right now? 45 families for the month. So that messed me all the way up. There's only one number one. It's Andre B. 45 families personally for the month that he's helped, guys. So great job to those people. The top 10 in Fury. As a team, guys, we finished the month with, I'm sorry, y'all. This is all over the place a little bit. I apologize. Corinne normally does this part. As a team, FFL Fury closed the month. We helped 564 families for the month. So that's a big deal, guys. Give yourself, if you put your name on the application, just one application, if you have one family in the month, give yourself a round of applause for contributing, guys. We appreciate everybody. So real quick, I want everybody needs to pay very close attention to what I'm getting ready to talk about. I'm only gonna take about 10 minutes, but I'm gonna talk about roll-up debt. And so this might be, if you're brand new in the business, if you've been here for a while, these what I'm talking about may be kind of foreign to you, but I want to make sure that everybody here really understands it. So, well, we get paid a lot of money here at FFL for helping families. But then there's also something that's called chargebacks. And if for people that are brand new, and if you don't understand how we actually get paid, for most of the companies that we partner with, they advance us. They pay us 9 months in advance. for the client's policy. So for an example, if you have a client that's paying $100 a month and you're at 100%, and these are just very flat numbers, guys, but if you had a client that's paying $100 a month and that's $1,200 in annual premium. So that's $1,200 for the year. And so the company will advance you 9 months of that $1,200 upfront in this specific example. This is just an example. Don't hold me to it, but I want to explain to you guys how chargebacks work. So if a client, if they're paying you for the first 9 months upfront, then that means that after month 6, if the client cancels, now you owe the company $300, right? And so the company does not take the money out of your bank account. The next time that you write a policy, you'll get paid $300 less. So I hope that part makes sense to everybody. So when you come here and you decide to build a team, you get something that's called overrides. And an override is simply the difference between your contract and your downline's contract. So if you're at 110% contract with FFL and you bring somebody in at a 100%, that means every time they write a policy, you'll make 10% off of that policy. And so too much is given, much is required. The other part about building a team is that when you decide to join an organization, when you decide to build a team, there's something that's called roll-up debt. And this is what I want everybody to listen to. Roll-up debt means that that person who, I'm gonna use Corinne, for example, since Corinne is direct to me. Corinne goes out, she writes business, she gets a bunch of chargebacks with Mutual Omaha, and then she doesn't write any more business. And so Corinne has, let's say, call it $3,500 in chargebacks. And then Corinne decides to leave or stop writing business. And so what's going to happen is Mutual Omaha is going to terminate Corinne, but somebody has to still pay this $3,500 back. And because Corinne is direct to me, it rolls up to me, right? And so I got to pay back Corinne's debt, because basically Corinne got a loan from the company, and because Corinne didn't pay her debt back, now it becomes my responsibility. Who wants to have roll-up debt? Anybody want to raise their hand for roll-up debt? Anybody want roll-up debt? It is a part of the business. You're going to get it. But here's the thing. I want to make sure that everybody on here understands, if you have more than $2,500 in debt with a company, going forward, we will put you on as earned. And what as earned means is that you no longer will get advance. You will get, every time the client pays their payment is when you will get paid. So if it's $100 a month payment, every time, and the payment is due on the 15th of the month, on the 15th of the month, you'll get $100 from that one company. And if you have 10 clients that are doing that, that means that's $1,000 for that one company. But if you have roll-up debt and you have not made a payment arrangement, and we've sent out, emails have been sent out, several different emails that came, some came from Family First Life. I know Faith has gone through and reminded people that they have roll-up debt. If you have roll-up debt and you've gotten one of those emails, please make sure, number one, that you contacted the company and set up a payment arrangement. And if you have, you need to respond to that email. The other thing that can happen, guys, this is like, I don't want to eat anybody's debt. I don't think anybody wants to be responsible for somebody else's debt. The other thing that we can do is we can take you to collections. So if you have, and it doesn't matter what the debt is, but we can put you in collections. We can go and garnish wages from another company. And guys, probably the bigger thing is when you leave debt with a company, you end up getting vectored. And what a vector is means that basically that's like your credit report for the insurance carriers. So you go with another carrier, they're going to deny you until you pay this money off that you owe this one carrier. Does that make sense to everybody? If anybody has any questions, please, now's the time, because this is very, very important. And I'm also very sure that nobody wants to get put on as earned, because that's a big difference, a huge difference in your pay. It's going to feel like FFL doesn't work the same for you as everybody else. Anybody have any questions about that?
Yeah, I got a question.
What's up?
So when you say as earns, when you in debt of 2,500, is that just debt for that particular carrier, or is that debt all across the board for all carriers?
So if you have a carrier debt of 2,500, we're going to put you on as earned. If you haven't made any kind of arrangement, yes.
Okay, so just to make sure we on the same page, that's for all carriers, right?
So for example, Darren, if you have $2,500 in Mutual of Omaha debt, that's what I'm referring to. Or you had $2,500 in Americo debt, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, I got you.
Make sense? Good question. How do you end up owing these carriers money? So I just explained all of that, Patricia. I said that if you end up having chargebacks and you just stop writing business with that carrier, then you're going to owe money. Because the money, what you're getting paid, I want to make sure that everybody understands when you get paid from these carriers, it's basically a loan, because they're giving you 9 months of premium payments up front, and the client in some cases haven't even made their first payment. So they're trusting, number one, that you're writing good business. They're trusting, number one, that you've gotten the client something that they can afford and they're going to keep up. And I think last week or a couple of weeks ago, I talked really quickly about, making sure that you're following up on your clients, making sure that you're writing good business so that your stuff does not fall off the books. 30% of your business is going to fall off the books. 30% of your 30% of your people are not going to keep their policy for one reason or another. They're going to cancel it immediately, or they're going to cancel it within the first year for whatever reason. So you have to just account for that. But what people do is they get a chargeback and they start getting nervous, and then they stop writing. And then when you stop writing business, now you have a chargeback from one client that you haven't gotten rid of, and then you got another client that charges back, and then you have another client that charges back. It starts building up very, very quickly. So that's how you end up with debt with a carrier. It's because you haven't resolved your chargeback. But remember, God, the money is a loan to you. It's not they're saying we're trusting you with this money, and and we're trusting that you're going to continue to write business for us. This is what the carriers are saying, because that's why we're giving you the money up front. But when you have a roll-up debt, when debt comes back to you, basically you're saying you can't. It's like you're getting credit, and now the insurance companies are saying we can't trust you with credit, so we're canceling your credit card with us, right? And so then that carrier is going to let the other carriers know, don't trust this person because they haven't even paid us back. Does that make sense to everybody? I'm telling you guys, this is the time to ask these questions, because again, you've got to, at least if you're someone who has debt with a carrier, roll up debt, you've gotten more than one email. You do need to respond with your payment plan to the carrier. And if you do not respond with your payment plan, you will be put on as earned for all the carriers. So Darren, you might have $2,500 in roll up debt with Mutual of Omaha, but you're going to go on as earned with all the carriers. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. I have a question, Carly.
Yeah.
If you're still working, let's say you accrue a $2,500 debt, how long before you guys put us on as earned? Is it immediate or?
Well, if you don't, like I said, is anybody listening to me?
I'm driving too. So.
If you have a debt and you've gotten the email and you have not set up a payment plan, we're going to and it's more than $2,500, we will put you on as earned.
Okay, got it.
We're not saying just hurry, we're not saying go ahead and we're going to terminate you or we're going to put you on as earned right away, but you need to make arrangements to be able to get out of that debt. And you need to make arrangements with the person who the debt has rolled up to. Does that make sense? Because again, if you had a teammate or you had a team, you would not want a bunch of debt rolling up to you that you did not. I have just, so for example, guys, because I got a big team. So again, what's given is required. To whom much is given, much is required. I have currently, just with Americo, $12,000 in roll-up debt And that none of that came from my chargebacks. It came from people that were under me that chose not to pay their chargebacks back. So, but again, it doesn't just all roll up to the VP. If you've built a team or you have people under you, their roll up that is going to roll to you. It's not going to go code to the VP. The company that I came from, the same thing would happen, but it would go to the VP. This is your responsibility. So when you bring somebody in, you're responsible for their success. You're also responsible for their debt. You're not responsible for their success. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. But you're responsible for their debt because you brought them into the business. Any more questions? Because I want to get our guest speaker going. I don't want to take up too much time with this. Any more questions about this, guys? But this is, if you do have more questions, you can post them in the chat and I'll respond in the chat. I have time for one more question if anybody has a question.
I got a question real quick, Callie.
Yes.
Callie, with the debt, the roll-ups, let's say I got an agent, I get a 20% override. Will a chargeback be the 20%, or will the chargeback be their whole 100 plus my 20% override?
You say, okay, start again, Akil. That was a good question.
Right, so I know about chargebacks. When the chargebacks home and the clients is usually the difference between my spread. But now you saying roll up. So is the chargebacks going to still be the 20% of my spread, or will it be the 20% plus my spread plus their whole 100? Plus
the whole 100.
Okay.
If that they left behind. Because the thing is, Akil, what people are doing is they're writing business and then they're just not, they stop, then they just stop for whatever reason. And so then because they have stopped, now they have this debt. And so the carrier is looking at them like they quit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the crazy part about the roll-up debt, if you have a chargeback with a carrier, like if you have a chargeback with Mutual Omaha, write a couple of children whole life policies so that it doesn't roll up. You know what I'm saying? You have to continue to write business with that carrier so that they know that you're still in the business, because they're looking at it like you left the business and you left this money behind. And they know that they paid that money to you up front and somebody is responsible for paying it back. So that's why, Akil, we have the ability to be, and it doesn't matter who you are, that's why we have the ability to be, or what level you're at. We have, if you have people that have roll-up debt, we have the ability to put them in collections. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter, you don't have to be a VP. Akil, if you get somebody on your team that leaves you $3,000 or more in debt, it doesn't matter. We have collections for each one, but we can put them in collections for leaving that debt behind.
And they still can reinstate the policy, right?
That's another thing they could do, but that's why I talked about making sure that you're following up, like, because these policies don't follow up on their own. You know what I'm saying? And some people really do. They have something that comes up during the month and their payment, they missed the payment for whatever reason. They call, they want to get the policy reinstated. People have things that happen. But if you never contact the client and let them know what's going on, they most likely don't know what's happening with their policy lapse. And then you get the client to make their payment. Now there's no chargeback. They're back on the books. So if you need help with managing your book of business, talk to your manager, guys. Put yourself on my schedule so I can help you. But don't leave your debt for somebody else to pay. It's not fair. So I'm going to turn it back over to Corinne so she can introduce the guest speaker. And again, guys, any questions that you have, I'll respond to them in the chat. Corinne, you there?
Yes, I am, guys. All right, guys. So we're not going to, guys, thank you. That is so important. But guess what? Just as quickly as you go into some type of chargeback with a team and yourself, you can quickly write yourself out, right? We've been doing this way too long. We make a ton of money. But what I will tell you is the person with the most chargebacks makes the most money. So see how that works out, right? But guys, I do want to bring this wonderful woman on. This will be my first time hearing from her. But we have an EVP of FFL Hidden Gems. Not so much hidden because they're crushing it right now. But he recommended this amazing woman, Kedlin. I hope I'm saying your name right, Kedlin.
Yeah, you're saying it right.
Perfect. So Kedlin, she is a senior sales manager, social media expert. She's if you're ever on Facebook and you see the group the People, right? They do a live dial. She is the captain of Serve the People. She helps agents transition and get acclimated to daily telesales from being a brand new person to a Hall of Famer. So if we could have anybody on our training today, I think we have the best person, and she is a female just crushing it. Thank you so much, Kellen, for taking your time out to, just to pour into our team. We're extremely grateful. And I know we won't let you down in the field with all the information that you're going to provide to us today. So thank you for being so awesome, especially on short notice. You have the platform and the floor, girlfriend. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Honestly, it's an honor to be here. I just started following you guys, and we're like looking into social media to see how the team was doing and so on. But I'm really honored to be here, really. So just a little bit of my background, guys. I am from PR. So if you're gonna notice along the call that I have that strong accent. Yes, I do. At the beginning, for me, it was a huge struggle. My mom has been doing this industry for 20 plus years, but she was doing it in PR, right? So I always wanted to be this independent woman. I don't want to really, have any relationship whatsoever with what my mom was doing at that time and so on. So for me, getting into the insurance industry was a shocker to everyone, because I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be I wanted to get into that field, medicine and so on. And this was a huge, shocker for everyone, just because I always said that I never wanted to do what my mom was doing. But obviously in PR, we really don't have what FFL has to bring to the table, or whatsoever integrity partnership. We don't have that over there. Like, you had to sell in a daily basis for you to even, survive. But going back to my background, I moved to the US when I was 18 years old. From there, I started in the hospitality industry. I grew within the hospitality industry. I became a manager. I was making good money, $24 an hour. So for me, at 18-year-old, that was, whoa, amazing. $24 an hour. That's a big deal, right? Full-time college student. I felt that I was doing the greatest thing in my life and so on. But at some point, guys, I was feeling that I wasn't fulfilling what I wanted to do, what I really wanted to accomplish. And that's when the idea of even jumping into insurance industry came out to my mind. Guys, I failed my exam 2 times. Why? I was taking my exam in Spanish, thinking that because that was my first language, I was going to crush it in Spanish. I was completely wrong. I studied for the 3rd time in English. I passed the exam on English. And the reason why I share this is because I don't know if we have Latinos in here, but one of my biggest struggles, guys, and one of my biggest fears was to start this business, because I thought I wasn't capable of doing it because of my lack of language. I thought that I was not going to be able to even explain a product in front of a client. Or I was not going to be able to do the best thing for the client, just because I didn't know how to express myself or had the vocabulary whatsoever to do so. Guys, I'm 22 right now. I started with the company 16 months ago. Like 16 months ago, guys, I started this business. I didn't know anything about life insurance, how to sell a policy, nothing. My mom did, I didn't, So I definitely got my license, started with Family First Life. And then from that point on, I just really promised myself that I was going to be the best version of myself in regards what my mom was doing, in regards of my barriers with the language, in regards to anything else. I made sure that I was going to put myself in that position. It wasn't until really like 4 months ago that we decided that we were going to build. And I mean, we have grown so quick, like it's crazy, like 100 plus families help in the last month. And it was just a huge accomplishment whatsoever for the team. Right now, the team is doing around 80% telesales. And the reason why I say this, guys, and this is I believe this is the magic behind the growth that we have had so quick, is because what agents were able to do in 2 weeks, meaning buying leads, getting to dial, doing so on, getting in front of the client, going through all those experiences that we already know how it really goes. It was taking 2 weeks doing it face-to-face with telesales, we really get to encounter that in one day, because we have people, we have managers, Hall of Famers, new agents. It doesn't really matter what stage you are at. You are there to learn. I'm even learning from other managers. Like it gets to that point. So I believe that that's the biggest thing of what we're doing right now. And if you guys ask me, how is that you grew from January to now March to build an agency when you guys were completely stuck to do 100 plus, then that's the key behind it. Guys, the key behind this business is the phone. It period. Like I'm not gonna say anything else. Like the key behind this business is the phone. If you don't dial, guess what? You're not gonna get in touch with those people. You're not gonna be able to help the families. So nothing is really gonna happen for you, for this family, or for your business. So if you really want to elevate your business, number one, you have to be consistent. Consistency, it's a big deal and plays a really big role in all this scenario. You have to be consistent, not for your manager, not for Family First Life, not for even Sean Mike. You have to be consistent for yourself. Number two, you have to be intentional. What's the whole point of you guys even being on this call if you guys are not taking notes and learning from your managers? If you guys are not learning from whoever speaker they might bring? So what's the point of spending a whole hour just looking at you guys' faces without being intentional with the time that you're investing for your business to grow and make that happen for yourself? And the third thing, really important, guys, you have to have a structure. We have the liberty, I would say, and we're completely independent to manage our own schedule. That we have completely clear. But I learned the hard way that if I don't have a structure for myself that works for scheduling, then nothing is really going to happen. Nothing is really going to happen, because you're not going to have someone go to your house and be like, hey, you have to wake up. It's 8 a.m. in the morning. It's time to dial. That's not going to happen, guys. Like you have to push yourself in a daily basis for you to create, from having that structure to become that as part of your daily routines. It becomes a habit. It becomes a daily routine. It becomes something that you are already. From being a structure, something that you were committed to, now that's who you are. That's who you have become. Real quick, and I really want to say this, and it's because I encountered now the fact that I'm no longer, watching over my business and what I do and the families I protect. Now we're leading. And when I say we, it's because this is a team thing, okay? This is not going to happen as an individual. But now you have to think as the fact of, okay, I'm leading, I'm doing this for myself, but whoever is watching on my surroundings, they're going to copy and paste whatever I'm doing. Something that I always tell my managers, and even any type of agent, is that tell me who you surround yourself with, and I'm going to tell you who you are. Guys, this is powerful. Like if you are the type of person that are used to hanging out with certain type of people, talk a certain type of language, use certain type of vocabulary, and not really plugging into the system, you fail. You sabotage yourself since day one. You don't want to do this to yourself or to your business. Believe me. The one thing that you can do to fail is not plugging into the system that we have, because the structure is there for something. The structure has been working for almost 7 years now. So why not use it in your advantage? You don't want to go ahead and recreate the wheel, because the structure has been built for you. You just have to copy and paste. Copy and paste. Legit, that's the only thing that you have to do. Either is that you want to do telesales, either is that you're doing hybrid, either is that you're doing face-to-face. It doesn't really matter how you want to do it. The important thing is that you're actually doing it. You put in the work in a daily basis. Guys, helping 10 families a week, that's nothing. Legit, that's nothing. I'm being straightforward with you guys. Helping 10 families a week, it's nothing. That means that you're protecting 10 families, filling 10 applications that you're actually are able to put out there. And it doesn't matter, again, how you're going to do it, but putting in place 10 policies, helping 10 families in a weekly basis, that's nothing. I don't know if you're new. I don't know if you're a Hall of Famer. I don't know if you have been here for a year, even longer than me. I don't know if you have been in the industry for 10 plus years and you just jumping into Family First Life. Guys, whatever you opt to do, you have to establish certain goals. personally speaking, the way I do it, I'm really structured. I like feeling satisfaction, and what brings me satisfaction is that I accomplished something. I put check marks or done or something like that. So what you have to figure it out, whatever is that satisfaction is coming from, so you can go ahead and do it. Either I even have agents that they have 10 sticky notes in the wall, and every single time they protect their family, they take out one sticky note. I have agents that have a board and they just do a check mark. Whatever it is that you need to do to make it happen, do it. Going back to the leads and going back to the dials real quick, this is something that I wish I would have learned in the beginning since day one, so I wouldn't, go to the struggles and so on. Guys, this is a numbers game. I know that maybe you have heard it everywhere else, like you have heard it since you started 10,000 times already, and you still don't get it. If you don't get it, you have to figure it out, because this is a numbers game. If you buy 100 leads, you have to make sure that from those 100, 50 at least you're gonna get in touch with, at least 50. And let's say that from those 50, 25, you actually gonna engage a conversation with them. And from those 25, if you at least do 10, you already won. You already won in this business. So you have to understand that more than quality, what you need is quantity. The quality, you're gonna bring it up whenever you're talking to that client, if like that client's in front of you. That's the way I see it. Why do I say this? A lot of people have struggles with leads. Oh no, CRM leads are not the best, or I don't know, or it's not gonna work for me. They don't answer. Guys, we all go through that. We all go through the struggles. And the reason why I'm saying this is because without the leads, there's no way, hear me out, there's no way you're gonna be successful in this business. You can depend on your friends and family so long. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? Like, you can depend on your friends and family for so long. You want to make sure that you're branding yourself out there. And the only way you're gonna do this is that if you buy leads, period. If you don't buy leads, you're not putting gas into your car. And guess what? The car is not gonna drive you from point A to point B. It ain't gonna happen, period. So you wanna make sure that you're investing on yourself, you're investing on your business and self, so you can be successful. And understand that behind every single step that you want to get, or accomplishment that you want to do, or whatever it is that you really want to get in this business, wherever it is that you want to get in this business, you have to put the work. There's no such thing as dialing 2 hours a day and, oh my God, I'm gonna quit because they didn't answer. What? So you're telling me that you only believe in yourself for 2 hours, and the other 22 hours you didn't believe in yourself, and you just quit on yourself? Because you're quitting on yourself. You're not quitting on the person who brought you into the business. You're quitting on yourself. You're quitting on the fact that you're not giving yourself the opportunity and the chance to grow, to change your life. Because I bet that everyone in this call has the same goal. How can I go from being an average to being extraordinary, to provide not only for myself, but also for my family? And we're not only talking about a financial stability, we're talking about financial freedom. And I learned the difference in between these two things. There's one thing to be financially stable, and then to have that financial freedom. Financial stability means that you're okay, you're an average, okay, I'm Gucci, I'm good. But for you to have that financial freedom, it means that you can get to do whatever it is that you want in the entire world. Whatever it is that you place your mind to do, you're able to do it today. But that's not gonna come just because of your procrastinating. You decided to just call 2 hours on a Monday morning, or you got to the office at 12 at noon, and then it's 5 and you don't even have appointments. You're sabotaging yourself. You're sabotaging your growth. You're putting a block on your business. And this has nothing to do with the structure. It has all the way to do with you. What is that you're doing? What is that you're not doing? Think about the fact that the time that we invest is crazy. The time that we invest on just watching a TV show, Netflix, I don't know, Hulu, whatever it is that you watch. If you really pay attention to the hours that you invest in a weekly basis, and if you were to put that towards your business, bro, I'm telling you, we'll be freaking millionaires at this point. You have to put yourself in that position where you don't have to you don't feel sorry about yourself no longer. And you have to understand that, hey, it's the time that I need to be honest with me. What is that I'm not doing? Where is that? What is that I'm not doing that this is not working for me? Because it's working for all of these Hall of Famers. So how is this not working for me? They have 2 legs, 2 arms. What am I missing? The only thing that you're missing is yourself. You have to figure it out. What is that you're not doing and where is that you're procrastinating, period. Guys, at some point, I said this on our weekly call on Thursday. At some point, you have to get tired of your BS. Straightforward. You have to get tired of your BS. Are you here to feel sorry and complain about the leads, the structure, the leader? It's not helping me. I don't know what to do. Or are you here to figure it out? What is that you really want to accomplish for your business and for yourself? Let me tell you something. YouTube is your best friend. Slack is your best friend. Podcast is your best friend. There's no such thing as you telling me, my manager didn't help me, so that's why I didn't know. Legit, if you Google Family First Life, there's a bunch of trainings that are going to come out. You want to learn about mortgage? Family First Life, mortgage protection. You want to learn about final expense? Family First Life, final expense. So you can't tell me, oh, my manager hasn't really helped me, so that's why I'm stuck. No. You're stuck because you decided to be stuck. The reason why I'm saying this and I'm bringing this up is because for me to get, and for the team to get from nothing legit on January to being a senior sales manager, it was because I needed to have this uncomfortable conversations with myself and with the managers. Uncomfortable is good. You have to fall in love with being uncomfortable. If you don't get uncomfortable, let me tell you something, you're doing something wrong. I'm being straightforward. Like, if you're not uncomfortable, you're doing something wrong. I'm uncomfortable right now. When they told me, oh, can you do this call? I was uncomfortable, but that's good. That means growth. That means that something is happening for that you're going to elevate yourself. And I'm only a step closer of where I promised myself that I will be. Integrity partners, first integrity partner. I promised myself that. Latina, first female integrity partner. I promised that to myself. 22 years old. I said, I'm not going to be 24 and not be a freaking integrity partner. That's what I said. And that's what I promised myself. So in 12 months, guess what? I need to be an integrity partner. It needs to happen. It has to happen. Not because I need to, but because I want to. And that's another thing that you guys have to learn. Wanting something is it's way more powerful, because it's like, for example, you don't get to choose who your parents are, but you get to choose what type of parent you're going to become. I'm not a mom myself, but I learned this from my mom. I didn't pick her whatsoever, but I decide what type of mom I want to become in the future. So there's certain things that you have to understand that you don't really get to decide, but there's other things that you get to decide for yourself. There's certain experience that you went through in the past that probably built you to be the person you're today, but you're the one who's going to decide if you're going to, bring along that path, or you're just going to be like, hey, hold up. Like, I don't need you anymore. This is a new journey in my life. Like, I really can't right now. Like, I need to become something else. I need to become something better. Just to close this, and then we can go, I guess, to the questions, the Q&A, I guess. For the new agents out there, let me tell you something. Guys, 22-year-old, no insurance, no sales. I never even sold a polo in my life. Like, I'm being dead ass honest. Like, nothing. Like, I had no sales experience whatsoever. And I'm doing this. I'm building. It's happening. The only thing you have to do from here is that, number one, you have to have the structure. Number two, you have to be consistent with yourself. Number three, bro, you have to be intentional. Hear me out. There's a difference between being productive and being busy. I was busy. I thought I was busy. I thought I was working and doing all this and kettling in the insurance industry, 21-year-old, crushing it. And then I realized on January that I was just being busy, but I wasn't being productive. And that's why the growth started in January. Because when I realized that I wasn't being productive, that I thought I was just being busy and keeping my mind and my time busy, and I got home, I was like, oh my God, I'm so tired. So tired of what? How many people do you speak on the phone with? How many agents do you actually help? What is that we're doing? So understand that productive and being busy are two complete things. And I chose to be productive. I chose to, whatever time I'm investing it intentionally, because I see my goal right there, and it's integrity. Period. Without a doubt. No more questions, no more doubts. The frustrations, the ups and downs, everything is gonna come along. It's gonna happen. This is not a fairy tale story, okay? This is not a Prince Charming story. This is reality, okay? We're all human beings, but you have to determine what is that you wanna do with your life. What is that you really wanna do with your business? Let me tell you something. This business has the biggest opportunity ever. This is coming from someone that saw her mom legit. Since I was born, my mom has been in this industry, and she never had the opportunity to do what we do here in Family First Life. Now she's under me. Now she's one of my managers. So get it from me. I'm telling you, you have everything to be a freaking millionaire. Like, I'm not talking about just having a couple of bucks in your account. Like, I'm talking about you being a millionaire. But you have to decide if that's the type of life that you want. And I think I'm done. I don't know who's going to take over.
Oh my gosh. I got so many
That was
notes.
incredible. That was incredible.
That
Thank
was
you.
amazing.
Fire.
Guys, okay. We got some time for questions. Let's go. If you could throw your questions in the chat really quickly, please. We don't want a bunch of people speaking all at once. Again, while we have people putting their questions in here, Kelly, you are like, again, when people speak with conviction, it's because they've been through something. You've gone through it, and you may still be going through it, but guess what? Nobody can tell because you're so busy with activity. You don't have time to think about what's not working. You don't have time to think about the person that quit. You don't have time. You're running and busy with the people that want what you want, right?
Yep.
Guys, we don't have any. Okay, well, we don't have any. Let me ask a question. Okay, so you're crushing it on telesales, right?
Yeah. Well,
what
I guess
would
I
you
am.
say is the biggest? But you're good at getting people and helping them, and because we have a lot of people that are doing telesales as well, especially new people. So what would you say, other than structure and the foundation, is a big piece on how you're able to get so many people on live dials together to not only book appointments and do telesales, but also have success? What are some other things that you would say is that you're plugging into that system there, the recipe for them and for you to have success?
Yeah, I honestly, we did, like, in January, like I mentioned, that's when the growth started. We decided to just do like I feel like a clean on the, we did like I don't know how you say this in English, but we decided to clean the agency. We were just hiring, and we were not being intentional with the fact, and we were not putting that expectations out there. Now to the agents that we hired, more than the structure and provided with everything and the sources and what to do, what not to do, I feel like it's the support that we get inside of telesales. They're no longer lost. They see you selling. They can call you, or you can hear them from the telesales itself, because we are on the Zoom, so they can hear you, and I can hear what the client is saying. What I'm trying to say is that it brings more support. They feel like you actually care. They see you doing it as well. So they no longer feel like, oh my God, I'm doing this on my own. I'm new, and I'm the only one who's new. So I feel like bringing that fact of support, and that you actually understand what they're going through and you got their backs, I believe that that's what gets people to jump really into telesales. And also, I'm really straightforward now. I wasn't, but now I am. I'm really straightforward with the expectations of every single agent. I do one-on-ones individually, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna be here dialing you and I only until you get a sell. Once you get a sale, we're going to jump into the general room, and then you can be part of everyone else, because you want to make sure that they break the ice, you know? So once they see that, damn, she's selling, she's protecting 30 families a month plus, and she's doing this with me that I'm brand new, I don't know anything. Okay, I trust her. You want it just the way you want to build that trust with your clients, so you can protect them and get involved with their finance. That's the same trust that you want your agents to have with you. If they don't trust you, they're not going to go to you. If they don't go to you, they're not going to plug into the system. If they don't plug into the system, they fail, you fail. So you don't want that to happen. You want to make sure that they trust you since day one. I'm not doing everything for them. Like, I'm really clear. Hey, you have to buy leads. You have to be here at 7:30 a.m. with me Eastern time. Otherwise, unfortunately, I can't help you. Next agent. Ooh. You have to have those type of expectations, because if you don't do that, then they're going to be like, oh, this is just a game. You know, like, whatever. She told me 7:30 and I jump in at 9:30. So whatever. And she said that it was okay. No, we're all adults. We're doing something. We're trying to get to a place, to a position. Bro, you have to have yourself accountable. I'm not going to babysit you. Like, let's be clear. I'm good. I'm going to provide you with everything. I'm going to make sure that you're freaking successful in this business. But if you're not doing your part, I can do something. I can do anything else. Something that I learned from Sean Mike, and I feel like this is what has got us to duplicate, is that if you're doing as a leader 100, your agents are always going to do a 50%. So if you do 200, your agents are going to do 100, and your third leg is going to do 50%. So you want to make sure that you are the highest that you can, because you always have in your mind that your agents are always going to do half of what you're doing. And this I learned from Sean Mike. He was like, Hedlin, like, you had to understand this for you to grow this business. And I'm like, damn, it makes sense. When I don't wake up, when I was procrastinating, when I wasn't showing up and I wasn't putting the action, I wasn't growing. I was selling. My bank account was good, but I wasn't duplicating. So what's the whole point of you doing this if you're not going to duplicate? You know? So I don't know if I answered your question, but yeah, that's the main thing, to be honest.
All right. And we got time for one more question here. What's your, okay, if you can, just real quickly, what type of leads are you buying to do your telesales? And what's the volume that you close on a weekly basis?
So I do a mix of everything, to be really honest with you. I have license in like 7 states now. I'm going to be really like straightforward with you guys, just like I'm with the agents from the agency. I know when to buy leads and what type of leads to buy according to the state or the county. Why do I say this, guys? You want to learn, like, for example, if you go to the mall, right, and you need a dress, you need to know your size. Because if you don't know your size, especially because of the pandemic, we can't try on the clothes, right? So if you don't know your size and you buy it, and then it doesn't fit once you get home, what was the whole point of you driving a certain amount of time to go to the mall to buy something because you thought you were buying a solution, but at the end of the day, you just now have a headache because now you're freaking out because you don't have the right dress that fits you, and now you have to come back, the whole scenario. So for me, it's like I have to understand where I'm putting my money, because we're talking about my business. So I buy internet leads. To answer your question, I buy internet leads, and I have those leads being dialed by FernBurner. Triple dial all day. FernBurner can be working 24/7 for me. I really don't care. I'm paying $100 a month. It better do their job, right? So internet leads, FernBurner. My mortgages, my mortgage protection, either it's fresh mortgage or age mortgage. Honestly speaking, I love age mortgage protection. I'm not a huge fan of fresh mortgage, to be really honest. I love everything that is old, I like, if that makes sense. So old mortgage protection, I call those leads my own. I use a sideline text now. Like I use different accounts on my phone. If you have Verizon, you can also add another line, just dropping ideas out there. And I dial my age mortgage, anything that is mortgage, I dial it from my phone. So why I have FernBurner that internet leads, I have Sideline. I use Sideline and text now to dial my mortgages. Okay, that's gonna bring me a more ratio of me getting in touch with people. And whoever answers first, that's the first client that I'm gonna really protect. Like that's how it's gonna happen. So I have internet leads, H mortgage, fresh mortgage. Right now I'm licensed in different states. My favorite one is Louisiana. Obviously Florida, I have most of my mortgages here. If you're Latino, and we have Latinos over here, Spanish speakers, New Mexico, it's the best way to go for Spanish leads. You can find it on the CRM, guys. They're not that expensive as they used to. So that's the best way to go. Louisiana, Georgia, and Ohio. I would say that those are my favorite states so far right now. And I just love it. I mean, I legit at 9 a.m., I got to protect a family from Texas. And then at 12, I'm protecting someone from Ohio. You know what I mean? So it's like, it keeps me busy and I have fun with it. The whole point of this, you enjoying the fact. They can sense you. They don't see your face. So you want to make sure that whenever you're speaking, again, you're being intentional, but they trust you. Every single one of you guys have a different personality. I can't control that. Just make sure that whatever structure you have for telesales, and if you guys don't, I can definitely provide that. I will text you everything that I have or email everything that I have. And then from there, we just go ahead and just dial, just do everything else. And it just makes sense. Just have fun with the process. Like, this is not just working. We're protecting families. Have fun with it.
That is right. Well, listen, Kedlin, that's all the time that we have, guys. I wish we could take some more of your time because you're just so fire. Thank you so much. Again, guys, please show your gratitude and your thanks by taking this information and going to work. But Kedlin, we will connect because I definitely want you to send that stuff over that you have. It's so gold, so fire. Thank you so much. Guys, that is a wrap for our call. Go crush it. We're going to be on live sales dials right after this. And guys, just for a hot second, everybody just unmute for a hot second and just say a big thank you. And that is a wrap for our call.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
That was
Thank
fire.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you soon, girlfriend.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Bye.
All right, guys.
Good
Go
day.
crush it. Love you all.
Thank you.